UV is asking, if everyone is using the same techniques, what will happen in the market? Well, let me just put it this way. That's impossible. First of all, there are plenty of strategies and tactics that are universally known that do become somewhat of a self-fulfilling prophecy, like the 200 period moving average. I mean, every market player in the entire world across all countries know the 200, right? That doesn't stop me from making money from it. Doesn't stop you from making money off of that moving average, right? But it's virtually impossible for everyone precisely to do it the same way, at the same time, at the same moment, with the same force, with the same conviction. That's impossible. If I were to give, there's how many people here? Not even that many. There's 400 people. 400 people, right? If I were to give you the same stock, the same time frame, say Microsoft at the open one day, I gave you the same stock, Microsoft at the open, 2-minute time frame at the open. I gave each of you $50,000 at the open. I told you all of you have 20 minutes to trade Apple from the open. Everyone's on the same footing. They've got the same amount of money, they got the same stock, they got the same time frame, and they got the same duration of trading. All right. Now, at the end of 20 minutes, market bell rings, boom. At the end of 20, they all know the same strategy. I guarantee you, you get how many different results? 400. Even if they're all trading the same strategy, 400 traders, 400 different results. There wouldn't even be one exception to that. There wouldn't even be 2 traders out of 400 with the same exact result. Never. And this speaks to something I think is extraordinarily important. The fact that it's not the market that has your results. You determine your results. The market doesn't determine your results, because if the market would determine your results, then the market would determine all 400 results. But all 400 results are different, which means that the difference lies in the trader, not in the market. The stock's the same. Microsoft traded the same for all 400, trades the same for all 400. It makes no exceptions. It doesn't ask any questions. It doesn't hesitate for one and doesn't hesitate for another. It's the most democratic thing in the world. All the money's the same. The time frame's the same. The duration of trading time is the same. So then what freaking makes the difference if everything's the same? You. So your results are here. They're not out there. Everyone's looking out there. Let me study charts. Let me study charts for 8 hours today. And they're looking for their results in charts. They're looking for their results in the market. You know, reading, analyzing, scanning, studying, they have their place. But at the end of the day, there's nothing in those things that's going to determine anything except your actions. Your actions determine everything. The way you react to the same reality that everyone's dealing with. There's only one reality. There's only one Microsoft. It moves the same way for Warren Buffett as it does for you. So the difference in results comes from here, not out there. Microsoft doesn't have the answer. Will the 92% failure rate ever change in trading? Such a fascinating question. Such a fascinating question. I used to believe it would. I worked on changing. It was my goal to change the failure rate. That is why I got into the educational space all the way back in 1993. I started my first educational firm in 1994. All right. And I was out to do this for institutions first, right? So my pitch was, I'm going to change the failure rate, because institutional firms would run 100 people through and know they're going to get like 10 at most out of the 100. And they'd fire the 90, fire the 92, fire the 94. And boom, okay, and they throw 100 people again and know that over time, 90 is going away. And so that's how they grew their team, by growing the 10, the growing the 6 to 10 out of 100. Repeat. 6 to 10 out of 100. Repeat. So I sold them on the idea that I could change that failure rate. And so institutions sent me their traders at a price of $25,000 per trader for 1 week. And they would send me 10 at a time. I took 10 traders every single week at $25,000 a head for 12 years. Crazy, right? Anyway, did I change the freaking number? No, I didn't. I failed. Now, I didn't fail at creating some phenomenal traders. I just freaking failed at the 92%. I just realized you can't change this number. Like, just like you can't change the general 80-20 rule in life, right? You want to know what the truth is in almost anything, apply the 80-20 rule. Well, in trading, it's the 90-10 rule or the 92-8 rule. We can round 90-10 rule in trading, but in life, it's the 80-20 rule. All right. And it just can't be changed. It's baked into the psychology of the human. It's baked into the DNA. And the reason you can't change this is because how long has fear and greed been with the human species? Forever. And the only way that can be changed is if we finally find a way to change the human fear greed cycle. And this is what creates boom and bust cycles in the economy. This is what creates booms and busts in our relationships. This is what creates high points and low points in our life. And this is what creates the rise of empires and the fall of empires. It's just baked into everything. And so, no, I don't believe that you can change it. I do believe that individually, you can change the odds of which side you fall on. So I don't want that to be discouraging for you. I am talking about in mass, all right? In mass, in group. I'm talking group talk, mass talk here. Individually, you can change the odds of whether you're an 8%er or a 92%er. Now, one last thing I'm going to say about this statistic. 92% of the people will not be able to do this for a living. But that's not to say that they can't become decent market participants. Doing it for a living is different from being a decent market participant. Like Warren Buffett would be the 8%. He would not be the 8%. Warren Buffett will be a 92%er. I guarantee you. He would be a horrible, horrible trader for income day to day. But that doesn't stop him from being a great investor. Do you understand? So when I say 92%, I'm specifically talking about doing this for a living and you need nothing else to survive. That's what I'm talking about. You want to start broadening the scope and stepping back a little bit, the numbers are very different. You know what I'm saying? They improve. And think about it. Of course, the more time you give yourself between actions, the greater the odds that you refrain from doing something stupid. I mean, the time stops you from doing. In the short term, you can do a lot of things stupid in a very short period of time. In the long term, your actions don't happen that frequently, so you can't do a lot of stupid things.